Gato Perro back with another review. Today the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Daredevil is part of the Hobgoblin Builder Figure wave. So he's the last one before we get to assemble him all together. You can see he does come with 2 nunchucks, a pumpkin bomb, and the left arm to the Hobgoblin. On the back we get a much more darker maroon color Daredevil than we actually have on the figure. And it says, without sight but also without fear, when Daredevil senses evil, there's nowhere to hide. Sin poder ver, pero sin sentir miedo, tampoco cuando Daredevil percibe el mal, no hay donde esconderse. Alright, so with Daredevil out of packaging, he is a pretty cool figure, but he has like number 50 to 60 to use the exact same Bucky Cat mold. But I'm not complaining because I do feel that it matches his just physique in the comics. He's built, but he's a gymnast, and he does have really good articulation that he benefits from. Now, he is only 2 colors, and as lame as that may sound, I really do like this scheme that his costume creates because of how it looks. Because of the way, like, you know, we have the 2 colors of this orangey red and the much kind of brighter, I want to call it maroon red, but might not be too sure that's the correct one. But just because of the way it looks throughout the differences, and the gloves to the boots and the belt, and even this little his little area to hold his nunchucks, which he does come with, and even his eyes are all different. I just like the way it just patterns across his entire costume, and I do think that this is the more accurate one Daredevil figure that we've gotten in a long time. Basically because the last one we got was from a Build-A-Figure series that I kind of forgot about. I can't remember the name. But anyway, that was a pretty cool figure, but I think this is a step up because I didn't really like that one too much. Although I did like, I think it was an original sculpt, but I'm not too sure about that either. But this guy's pretty cool compared to my only other Daredevil, which is the Spider-Man Classic Series one, which you saw in my stop motion where he faced Scorpion. So yeah, he was a really good choice, but I kind of wish I would have gotten this guy a little bit earlier because he's got a wobbly leg and he's kind of loose and he didn't hold most of his poses well. And this guy's pretty stiff like most of the Hasbro figures are nowadays. And I don't think he has the hip problem that we've seen before, so they might have fixed that. Maybe I got lucky with mine. But I do like how this guy has a lot more shading going across the red in the entire costume. And I like how his Double D's logos have a black outline, which I think would have made this one stand out a little bit more. But at the same time, the one thing I do like about this new one, as opposed to this one, is the head sculpt. It is really cool looking. This really kind of a Batman stern face that he has going on with his big jaw. Looks really cool. I don't think you can see it. It looks kind of pale on camera, maybe because of my lighting, but hopefully you can see it. And then his eyes are also the same color as the brighter red, but they don't have any special, like for example, this guy over here, he had like a black and then he had like a red shimmery effect, so you can tell where the pupils are. But again, this one does have kind of the horn sticking out, do have like little circles on the bottom of it where it comes out, and very minor seams that go on the back of the head, which looks like they've been ridged in. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The same sculpt throughout the entire body with the muscles coming out of there, with all the tendons coming out of the arms too. Very built Daredevil. Here we get this new piece with the belts, which basically the only sculpted parts are these 2 little things which look like buckles where they come together. And it is a separate piece, but it stays in place just as well. As the same with his little strap on the side of his leg, which does come off. But for the most part, it's not like it slips off easily. And it does house his 2 nunchucks perfectly. And you do get the 2 different shades of color on the buckles as well. And down on the boots, we got the much more, the smoother legs. And we got some sculpting on the bottom of the feet with little ridges, and as well as the gloves. And then we got these nunchucks, which I think most people have complained about, but they're a really cool accessory. I think is a must for any Daredevil figure. Mostly because they're a really soft, gummy material for whatever reason. I don't like that too much myself, but I'm not angry about it. And it does have these little notches sculpted into it at the end. And it does have this one little piece of plastic connected, so you can put them together and it'll make kind of like a staff. So that's pretty cool. Personally, I would have liked them to have a string attached to it like the rest of other Daredevils we've gotten. But I'm pretty sure you can do that yourself. And my stop motions, I did use a black wire that I just looped around the string, and that's how I would animate it. With a closer up look, you can see the much finer details of the face with more frowning expressions, and that the Double D's are painted really well, not too sloppy all over the place. So yeah, they did a pretty good job of keeping their paint consistent. So for articulation, his head goes all the way up that high, that low. His arms go out, they do rotate forward, biceps swivel, double jointed elbows, his wrists go in and out. This one has a gripping hand, this one has kind of like a gun shooting hand. And it's kind of weak at holding it. You can see if I put it in, it holds it pretty sloppy, but I don't think it should go out of place if he's just on a shelf. And his ab crunch does go far, pretty down, kind of back. He does have a waist swivel. He does have legs that go forward, they go out. You have the thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He does have calf rotation, ankles go down all the way up, and he does have an ankle rocker. And this Daredevil is acted about 6.5 inches tall. And again, here is compared to the only Daredevil I have. So, to be honest, I don't know what to think about these two guys. I don't know which one's my favorite. I do like the more physical presence that this guy has. This guy's a little bit too slim. But at the same time, the articulation of the Toy Biz figure does help him get into a lot more crouching poses. Since he is described to be kind of like a ninja and he does do a lot more stealth stuff. So you can get him into a lot more cool poses. But yeah, I'm really torn between these two. If you had to choose, would you pick the new Hasbro one or the old Toy Biz one? Leave your comments below. Or you can even tell me your favorite one, whether it be the Face Off or even the old, I think it was Nemesis Wave Daredevil from the 2009 when Hasbro first got the license. So yeah, that's were my thoughts. I really do think this guy should have more shading like this guy. But at the same time, he was also very plain because he didn't have much sculpt either. Just this new piece right here on his thigh to hold his nunchucks. But that's it for my review. And yeah, please stay tuned for the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure review. And that should be it for now. Gato Perro, enjoy the pictures.